for most of us, we've wasted over 20 years of our lives cleaning.
It's so true.
You clean at home, you go to secondary school, you
Yeah.
clean every day, you clean toilets every day, and this is serious issues.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Pick and Chat podcast. We hope you're doing well. We know it's been a while, but we're back, and today we have a really fun episode on business trends for you, so stay tuned. Okay, so today Dennis and I are here. We're going to talk about some business trends, and we're going to try and hit on how to start businesses with as little money as you can. Dennis has a lot of experience in that area, so we're going to talk about how you can start a business if you don't have a lot of time, how you can start a business if you have, as little as £500. So yeah, let's get right into it, Dennis. So let's start off with this. Let's say you are a mom, you recently just had a baby, you have some £500 lying somewhere, but you don't really have a lot of time, but you have some interest in business, you want to start something. How would a person like that start a business? So with £500, with not a lot of time, really, how can they start something with that?
Yes, I think that will require no work or nothing that's supposed to move you. For instance, if you're at home and you're not somebody that can move about, then you should be thinking of being an agency. And people think it's too difficult, but that is all they do. When you go to agencies in their offices, you have administrators, managers. It is just because they are managing a lot of employees. That is why they have too many people. But if you are a one-man or one-woman agency, that would mean you don't have too many people to handle, and you can do it from your home.
Wait, sorry, agency as in, so when you're looking for a job and you go to an agency to get...
Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
What you're going to do is...
interesting.
You should rather know how to communicate to get jobs and communicate to get people who can execute the job. That's all you need to do. And it just take
really
phone calls and getting online. And that is why I always say that trying to make things go viral in this age is one of the best things or one of the best skills you can acquire. Because if you can put businesses out there and get phone calls, this is money.
Yeah.
So let me just talk about how the agency works. When you go to a typical agency, they have jobs, right? Then they give you the job.
Yeah.
You go and do it. They will pay you.
They'll pay you, yeah.
That is all to it. So imagine just going online and advertising for a painting job. And this is so easy to do. You just need to go around learning about painting. Get online again. Now we have generative AI tools, ChatGPT. You can ask a lot of questions. Prompt it very well. What do I need to start a cleaning business? How can I do sales in cleaning? How can I do sales in painting? How can I do sales in home decor? It will teach you all the lingua. All the things to say.
Yeah.
So if you're talking to somebody, they feel like, yes, you're an expert. And of course, experts are not people who really do the job. When you talk to people on businesses and you think they are the actual people who are doing the job, no, they are salespeople. Most of the time, the people who can do the job, they cannot even communicate what they can do. So all the time you pick phones and talk to businesses and they really convince you to pay X amount of money to get this job done for you. Those are people who are trained to talk to you. They don't do the job. And that is why you should become a salesperson. So when you are able to, get all of this lingua in place, all you need to do is another skill, how to run an ad. And that's why I said making things go viral is very important. So in case you're going to pay for, let's say, Google ad or Facebook, or let's say Meta ad. Meta ad is both Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
Or let's say advertise on Snapchat or on TikTok. Instead of paying for it, if you are very proficient in making things go viral, you understand hooks, you know what to write on the video to make it, really catchy.
Yeah.
You can get that without paying money. And it will work for you. But if you are not ready to go through that route and you can put a few pounds, let's say £10 a day on an advert, most of the time for places like TikTok, £10 a day can actually take your ad or your content to, let's say, 10,000 people.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, what you just said about running ads. So let me give you a scenario and maybe you can help us to come up with an example of like a video for an ad. So let's say you want to start an agency, like the example I gave earlier, you are a mom, you have little money, you've just started an agency.
Yeah.
And you're quite popular on TikTok.
Yeah.
So how would you go about advertising your new agency business on TikTok?
Yeah, so, the annoying thing about people and customers is they want to see products, but they don't want to feel like they are seeing an ad.
Okay.
And that is a skill. So, for instance, if your TikTok is all about, let's say, dancing and going about your normal life, then, of course, you have to be talking about something whilst you're dancing. So if you want to advertise a candle business, put a candle in your background. Once you dance it on TikTok, dance. Once you dance on TikTok, dance. Then why don't you move your hand past the candle and do it in a way that it won't blow up the candle? They'll be like, oh wow, these candles are very quality. Even when it's on, no matter
what you do,
the activity you do, it's never going to blow it off.
That's interesting, yeah.
Okay, so now somebody will start looking at what brand it is. Then you zoom in to it. You will decide never to talk about the candle. Never mention it. Put it in your first ad. Put it in your second ad. Then third ad, come and say that, oh, people are asking about that candle.
I like that. That's really cool.
You get it? So most of the time, people will be like, oh yeah, I was doing this video and somebody saw this on my wall, this clock, and people are asking about where I got that clock from. In case you want to buy that clock, it is that. It's an advert.
I see posts like that on Instagram sometimes, actually.
It's a solid ad.
But that's really clever though, isn't it? Yeah.
So on your third video, then you'll be like, oh, people ask about that candle. I've used it. And it's not just that when depending on whatever, when there's too much wind, it's windy, it doesn't go off. It also has a good scent. Then you start talking about it. When you put it on, it takes 2 hours. It takes 2 days. It takes 6 hours before it burns out. Before you realize by the third video, you've gotten people who saw the candle in your background, who saw how good it was because it didn't turn off because you're moving yourself about and all.
Yeah.
And thirdly, you got them to pay attention to it. Now you saw all the other features of the candle. Before you realize people are coming to it.
That's very subtle.
Yes. Now if you want to buy it, the link is in my bio. Then people will start clicking before you realize you are selling.
You're selling, yeah.
And when that ad does well, then it's a very good ad and you can put it on your promotions page. Then you can promote it. Mind you, for places like TikTok, you have to get a business page. It's just very easy to register. You register it, fair enough, and you're done.
Yeah.
You have a whole thing running and it is very simple. But like I said, if you don't want to go through this route of rather infusing it into your content or doing anything extra, you can lazily or easily pay for ad. You just do an ad, pay for it. It takes you to many people. But that is very inorganic because you can lose money. Because if you pay £10 a day, 10 days is £100. So if people are not buying worth, an amount of money, that will make you take off your cost of sales and the cost of adverts, which is called customer acquisition cost, then it becomes very difficult for you to get your profit. So I would say organic. Start organic.
Yeah.
If it works, then you put some money on it. Yeah.
Okay. So I think going back to starting the business with as little money as you can. Let's say you have some interest in wanting to start a business, but the motivation is not there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I have this money, I could do this, I could do that. You're probably a little bit confused as well on what to start. We've talked about maybe an agency business, something you could do. Are there any other businesses that maybe would not take as much work, but it will be very easy to start with little money?
Before that, I think I was a bit sweeter. I did not finish the agency thingy. So with the agency, the same ad, if it wasn't a product you're selling, it could have been a service. So for the same ad, if your setup in your content was neat, you'd be like, oh, these cleaners clean my home on weekly basis. If you want them, call this number. And when they call, it comes to you.
Yeah.
Then you will sell the service to them. The service is, let's say, £200. Then you get a cleaners to do it for £120. Then you get your own card for £80. So that's how the agency works.
Okay.
Now back to your question. Is there anything that you can do for less or for little time that is not, you being out there creating content? That is very difficult because one thing with business is people always are passionate about talking about passive income. But the income becomes only passive when you've put in some work. Then now you can relax and it goes on.
Okay.
So for instance, if you had an automation where You did a lot of things. You put things online. Now you've removed yourself from it. You have somebody picking the calls. You have the ad running.
Yeah.
Somebody picks it. They finish the deal or complete the sales. It goes to whoever is supposed to do it. They finish. Money gets into the account. Then it is very passive for you. But I'm afraid you still have to put in some work to employ the right people. So most of the time, the businesses that you don't put in so much work, you put in a lot of money.
Right.
Because now you have to get somebody to do what you have to start.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you don't have so much money and you don't have so much time, that means you have to commit some little money and a lot of time initially to set it up before you hand over when it's profitable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So how about the motivation then? How would you encourage someone who is lacking motivation to start a business? So they have the funds, they are not worried about time, but they just, something seems to be stopping them from starting. And what would you say to that person?
They're not hungry. One thing with business is, there is this analogy about a mouse seeing cheese and getting motivation to go for the cheese. And a mouse being attacked by a cat. So if you want a mouse to exercise and you put cheese in front of the mouse, they might go if they are really hungry or they might, drag their feet. But if a cat is coming, they will run.
They'll run, yeah.
So sometimes the only motivation to get into business is hunger. Yeah. Because most of the time, if you are employed and you get some money coming in and you want to start a side hustle, you're not too motivated because regardless, you get money at the end of the month. But if you quit your job and you know that if you don't make this business turnover, you are not getting food for yourself and your family at the end of the month, you run differently. And for me, that has been my weakest point in business because for as long as I've been in business, I've always had a job. So I know I really push myself, but I know I can do better
more. Yeah.
if I have no monthly income coming in. But it is too much of a risk for me to take because I'm a family person.
Yeah.
And it's really a worry. I know that I can really quit my job and just do all out. But it is one big risk that I'm not able to take. And those who have taken that risk are better off than me. And of course, I also have my own advantages where, in case anything happens, I'm safe. I'm getting money on the month. So the motivation, you can never stress it enough. It is very contextual until the person has no option. They may never be motivated to do business. So try and find your motivation. If it is so hard for you, quit your job. Otherwise, so that that is your last stop. Yeah. Yeah. But for side hustles, of course, it will always be side once you have your main job. Yeah.
All right. In terms of, I think, so we've spoken about motivation and, some businesses that you can do with little money and less time. Now, let's talk about some business trends going around lately. Have you seen any business trends going around lately that you think it could help some of our audience that maybe you can share?
Okay, I'll just take two of them. One that is very, that's more passive. That is e-commerce. I'll explain a bit. Then one is a big brick and mortar, one that you have to get out there.
Okay.
So for the ones that you have to get out there, the two no-brainers. The one that is very easy to start, which I've been able to get my head around, one is cleaning business. You don't need anything. When I started cleaning, I got my first contract before I bought a vacuum cleaner. Because it makes so much sense. I made a call on Friday night. I got a job for Tuesday. I had Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and even some part of Tuesday to get it.
Yeah.
So I went to Tesco. I got all the cleaning products. You could see a whole box. When I bought a vacuum cleaner, I took it off. Then the box that the vacuum cleaner was in, that is the box that I bought the cleaning materials in.
That's really cool.
It was so simple. So before I started spending anything on the money, I had a contract. And this is a business that I can boldly say I started with less than £500.
Wow.
And from day one.
Cleaning business.
Yeah. From day one, it was positive. And this is not anything that you need to get a skill for, because for most of us, we've wasted over 20 years of our lives cleaning.
It's so true.
You clean at home, you go to secondary school, you clean every day, you clean toilets every day, and this is serious issues. You clean bathrooms.
When Akoto says you clean when you go to secondary school, he's talking about those who went to secondary school
in Ghana,
outside of the UK. We went to secondary school in Ghana, we didn't spend time.
Yeah, we went to boarding houses. Yeah, Yeah, in Ghana, let me just clarify. Most of the secondary schools are boarding houses. Almost every secondary school is a boarding house.
Yeah.
They're like just 1% is a day school. So you stay there, you clean after yourself, you mow, you do everything.
Yeah.
You clean WCs, sinks, urinals. I mean, that's where you all use bathrooms, your dormitories, you lay your beds.
Yeah.
So these are skills I
you have
have acquired
experience.
over 20 years without hassle. So why don't I put it to use? And if you clean for people and they say it is not neat, it's not done well, you just go and redo it. It is so simple. It is just your time. So it was one of the best businesses that I've ever done. It is one of the best businesses I've ever done. It is cash flow positive. Now it is bigger. As I said, many people are, even as we speak, people are working, people are in the fields working.
Yeah.
And I'm more free to deal with customers and deal with the books and everything. Even now we have an administrator, offshore in Ghana, who sits in Ghana and manage all the accounts, make sure everybody is paid and all. I mean, it's very simple. Things are very streamlined.
All right. Okay, so before you continue, Dennis, can you tell us a little bit more about how you decided to start your cleaning business? Because you were saying that now it has gotten to the point where you even employ people. So what was the motivation? Like, what made you start it? And what was the motivation to continue? And, because it's gotten to quite a huge point now. So what encouraged you to keep going, basically?
Yeah. So I think it is just the questions you asked me earlier on. What business can you start with almost nothing? Let's say less than £500. That was motivation, because I was like, okay, I'm working. I have a bit of time on my hands. What business can I do that I don't have to spend so much time and so much money? And that is what came up. Like we discussed earlier on, cleaning is something that everybody knows how to do.
Yeah.
Unless you are very lazy. And even if you are lazy and you still want to clean, just go on YouTube. You know how to, use a mop to wipe a table. This is not something you don't really have to know how to do. So when I started, it was just simple sales, like I mentioned. And, there is this question about how I got to know where the cleaners are. There was a website where they advertise cleaners. They advertise for cleaners. People who want to clean, bring their jobs there. They don't pay nothing. But it is you who wants the contracts that will pay. And it's not even like you just lose money. So this website, is one that when you are the cleaner, you buy points on there. So you have points to now click on people's contacts. So if I see that you have advertised that you want cleaning, then I click on it. That is when I pay money. So after I've clicked on it, if it costs me £5 to get your contract, then of course I make sure that I do my sales properly. I get the lingo, I talk properly. And it was a friend of mine called Bernard. He's now Dr. Bano. Yeah, he's now a lecturer at the Montfort University. Wow. I went to him to consult him because when we were in uni, we were doing masters. He knew things about business. He really understood the concepts, ways of doing business. So I went to him. I'm like, this is where I've got into. I've done my first contract. I have a second one coming up, which I'm still trying to close. But how do I get it frequently? Then I was like, do this, go to this website. So it was just like literature for me.
Wait, so it's when starting a business, then it's a good idea to speak to people about it to get that advice, because like you said, your friend connected you to that website. So networking when you're starting business is key then, isn't it?
Always ask for help, because this is a guy who has never practically done business in UK. But not just my cleaning company. I have other businesses that he gives me advice, I take it, and that is it.
Yeah.
And of course, he is a PhD guy. He's learned in it.
Yeah.
He can tell you all the theory. He can tell you what is the trend, what is working. This is your customer base. They will like this product. And he just expects you to practically do it. Well, he most of the time says that he also is amazed by how I'm able to implement things, because it gives me a very good understanding of what he's studying. But I benefited from the things he studied, the things he researches into easily. So it's very good to talk to people.
Yeah.
Because just that one platform he gave me changed everything. It changed everything. And that platform is called bark.com, bark.com. I'm happy to talk about them because I've really earned a lot of money from them. Okay. And that was it. So the rest is what I mentioned, sales. So now somebody says they want a cleaning, they want their home or their office or whatever cleaned. You are the cleaner. You've bought their contact for just £5. How are you able to convert them? That is where your communication skills come to play.
Okay.
So some things I did that worked for me. I made sure I had insurance. I made sure I had a professional email, not Annabelle at at Midland Cleaners at Annabelle at Midland Cleaners at gmail.com. People don't like to see
They don't like that.
yeah. Info, something like info at Midland States Cleaning Services. So
Okay.
you register a website.
Sorry, pause there. So after you got your second contract, then you started investing more into it. Is that what you mean? Okay.
Exactly.
Like getting emails
Yeah.
and okay.
So I got somebody in church to do a website for me for £70.
Oh, that's good.
Oriana.
Oh,
Yeah. She made a
cool.
website for me for £70. I got somebody in church, Priscilla, to do business cards for me for I think £40. We paid like £70 for like thousands of business cards and flyers.
Wow.
That is it. So I've just spent like less than £150 to get a website and flyers. Then I got my email info at my own website.com.
Yeah.
So if I email you, you take me serious.
You know it's serious, yeah.
Yeah. So imagine you put a cleaner out there, you're expecting some bare cleaners to just call you. No, don't know. You are really contemplating whether you talk to 10 of them to check them if they are good people. Then you get this cleaner, he calls you, he talks about it, he speaks the clean language, tells you, okay, I'm going to sell my insurance for reference. So you keep it whilst you decide. He's going to sell you this insurance through an email that is registered with a website. You check the website, you see what is there, the address is there. How would you feel? Makes you feel like,
It feels like it's legit, yeah.
Okay.
Like they're serious.
Good. So now I charge people like £200, £180 for a 3-bedroom house, deep clean. And I'm like, oh, it's so much. You're just going to spend like 4 hours for 2 people. That's 8 hours. Why are you charging £200? I'm like, yes. You can get individuals who will charge you per hour. You can pay them £10 or let's say £12 an hour for that 8 hours. But you have to bear the risk of who they are,
Yep.
their background. You have to bear the risk of if anything gets broken in your home, who is going to pay for it?
Yeah.
I am a business. I'm coming with an insurance. I am coming with identity. You know where to find me on Company House. You know how to get to my insurance. I've given you a reference to my insurance. I've given you my whole public liability insurance, employees liability insurance. I've given you my whole professional indemnity insurance, where even if I do a job for you and you want to report to ombudsman that my job was not done, I've taken your money, they can refer to my insurance and come and take money for me and give it to you. You have all of these things and it costs money. So now I'm able to tell them, if you want the cleaner who maybe doesn't even speak English, that you want to manage whilst they're clean, that's fine. But if you want a cleaning company that will manage its cleaners and you have to deal with what? A professional person, then it's £180.
So like from what you've been saying, it's really interesting. But right from the onset, you have to take your business seriously. You have to see it as, okay, this is a service that is profitable. This is a service that people would want.
Yes.
And because of that, you have to do it well from the beginning.
Exactly.
Because I'm sure there are some people maybe who've started cleaning businesses, but if someone calls me, then I'll go and clean. But they don't put in that effort of, okay, I'll go and, network, ask people who know something about business.
Yes.
Find out websites where I can advertise it. Get a website for myself.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah. And one thing is, I wouldn't say just jump into any business and start spending. I did my first cleaning.
Yeah.
I knew, okay, I can get 10, because if I could get one contract with a phone call, that means if I make 100 phone calls, I can get 10.
Yeah.
And that is a lot of money. If I get 10 cleanings and I'm charging 200 per cleaning, that is £2,000.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. I can do 10 cleanings in one day. So if you're doing £2,000 in a week, in 1 day, in 1 week. So imagine if you're doing 10 cleanings in a week and you're charging £2,000 for 10 cleanings. That is a lot of money, regardless of who you're going to pay or wherever the money is going to go. It's good sales. And that is good. So I experimented it. I knew the business was one I could really do.
Yeah.
Then I started spending a bit of money on it. And let me tell you one thing. This insurance I'm talking about is nothing. The insurance, when I started, my insurance was around £17 a month.
Oh.
It is nothing compared to the amount of money I was making.
But someone will sit there and say, oh, £17.
Yeah.
Oh, why should I spend that amount of money on insurance? But like you just said, it gives you that credibility.
Exactly.
And you have that confidence to charge the amount you're charging, because I have this credibility. You can call this company and check on me.
Yeah.
So I think from what you've been saying, Dennis, even when you're starting a small business, right from the beginning, you need to see it as something that can grow.
Yeah.
You need to see it as something that can become huge, and put in the work, put in the resources as well, because those of you that don't know, you can check out Midland Dusters on Google.
Yeah.
They will come up. But from where it started to where it is now, it's huge.
Yeah, it's huge now.
So-
Now there are a lot of employees. There are many people, that even are in the pipeline to, work with us. And it's like that. For cleaning, you don't hassle getting talent because people will just tell people want easy jobs and they will just come and they give you a call. So all the time you have people from Nottingham asking for cleaning. You get jobs in Nottingham, you call them and connect it. And you become literally an agency. So now I have the lingo, I have the setup to get the cleaning. I get people to do it. And it's more or less like an agency. There are places
amazing.
where, the farthest place we've cleaned is Manchester, where I got people to clean in Manchester from Manchester, and I never moved an inch. The job was done, money was paid, I paid them. And it's a typical agency.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked quite a bit today about business trends, about how you can start a business with as little money as you have. And we hope some of the tips Dennis have shared has helped you. If you have any other questions about any of the things he shared, put it in the comments below and he will try and answer them for you.